Let's get to an expert opinion on this. Mike Davis joins us as the founder and president of the Article 3 Project. You've got a whole host of accolades on your resume, and we appreciate you, Mike, being here with us. You're reading the Durham Report, 300 plus pages. What were your top line thoughts when you consumed what Durham revealed to us a little bit earlier this week?
Well, it's pretty stunning, actually, that the FBI worked with President Obama, Vice President Biden, Biden's current national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, the Attorney General, the CIA director, and Hillary Clinton's campaign to cook up and unleash this Russian collusion hoax against then presidential candidate Donald Trump. They had this Crossfire Hurricane investigation. They submitted false evidence to a federal court to get a warrant. They essentially accused President Trump of treason, then candidate Donald Trump of treason for his, alleged dealings with Russia this was all bogus. And the point of this was to cover for Hillary Clinton's political campaign because she got caught with an illegal home server hacked by her enemies, and she got caught with the Clinton Foundation's pay for play. This is outrageous. You cannot have more troubling election interference in this country than when our law enforcement and intel agencies collude with a presidential candidate and an incumbent president to take out a rival.
We're speaking with Mike Davis. I mean, when you put it that way, the distraction that all of this has mounted into to pull attention away from the FBI and the American people, and specifically the voting American people, pulling that attention away from what Hillary Clinton was doing at the time, it almost makes me much more interested in what it was that she was able to cover up when it wasn't under the investigative eyes and gaze of the FBI.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the problem is you had these political operators at the FBI. You had James Comey as the director of the FBI. You had the deputy director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe. You had the FBI senior counterintelligence official, Peter Strzok. They were all in on this, right? And then this unleashed the Mueller investigation as this 3-year probe that hobbled the Trump presidency. And who was the ringleader of the Mueller investigation? This Andrew Weissman, this pit bull, this partisan pit bull, was Mueller's number 2 on this probe. And so they created this Russian collusion hoax. They had this Mueller probe, and their whole goal was to take out Trump before the election and then to hobble his presidency for 3 years while he was the president of the United States. And this did not end in 2016. Remember, in 2020, the FBI was weaponized again. They buried clear corruption by the Biden family, bribes, including bribes when Biden was the vice president of the United States. There's a whistleblower that came to Senator Chuck Grassley's office, my former boss, and has a specific allegation that former then vice president Joe Biden took a foreign bribe and changed American policy, and this got buried by the FBI. There are these suspicious activity reports at the Department of Treasury going back to 2015 on the Bidens. There's clear corruption, and the FBI hid this evidence during the 2020 election because not only do they try to prevent Trump from getting in the White House, they chased him out of the White House.
Yeah, they certainly did. Founder and president of the Article 3 Project, Mike Davis, speaking with us right now. Compare for us what they accused Donald Trump of. Compare that to what they actually did themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you have clear. They're accusing Donald Trump of essentially treason. That he had these treasonous deals with Russia. That he was selling out America to Russia. But if you look at what both Hillary Clinton and the Bidens did, they did exactly that. They have these pay-for-play. The Clinton Foundation had a pay-for-play operation. So Bill Clinton's running the Clinton Foundation along with Chelsea, while Hillary Clinton's the Secretary of State. The Clinton Foundation is taking all this money from foreign countries that is enriching the Clintons' personal lives, and they're exchanging. She's trading government favors, and they have this on her illegal home server. And so what does she do when she gets caught? She destroys the home server, right? And then they create this Russian collusion hoax, this crossfire hurricane investigation on Trump to deflect attention. And then if you look at the Bidens, when he's vice president, he's taking foreign bribes from China, from Ukraine, from Romania. He's taken bribes when he's out of office. There's evidence his family's still on the payroll with the Chinese and Ukrainians and Romanians. It's unbelievable what the Democrats are willing to do. It's even more unbelievable that the law enforcement and the FBI, the CIA, the Justice Department, the larger law enforcement and intel agencies go along with this. And it happens. They were going along with this during the Trump administration. This deep state was going along with this. So you have to ask yourself. Remember, it was Trump's Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein who was in charge of managing the Mueller probe. What did Rod know, and when did he know it? Was he just oblivious and incompetent to all this corruption that was going on under his watch, or did he know about it and cover it up?
Yeah, I think that the assertion from the detractors, from the Trump detractors, who wake up in the morning just salivating at the next opportunity to be angry at Donald Trump and to hate him. But, you have the Mueller report, you have the Durham report, you have the IG report, you have all of these reports. And a lot of people are saying, if you hate Donald Trump, they're saying the Durham report is nothing new. This is all old news. And the FBI themselves are even out there saying, we've put into practice things to address the issues that are in the Durham report. This is nothing new. We've addressed this. We're moving on. What's new about the Durham report, or what is the impact, if there is one, on the Durham report that should be making waves, if not ripples?
This is not an HR matter at the FBI. This is not that we need to change HR policies at the FBI. You have the FBI colluding with the President of the United States, Obama, the Vice President of the United States, Biden, the National Security Advisor, now Jake Sullivan, the Attorney General of the United States, the CIA Director, a leading presidential campaign, Hillary Clinton's campaign. They colluded to weaponize our justice system, our intel operation for our country to go after a presidential candidate. It does not get worse than this. And here's another point that people forget. Remember the Mar-a-Lago raid. I've been saying this since the Mar-a-Lago raid. The whole point of the Mar-a-Lago raid was this. President Trump declassified the day before he left office. He declassified the Crossfire Hurricane documents. So that was on the 19th of January. He left on the 20th. The Biden Justice Department, the Biden administration dragged their feet and never made public those declassified Crossfire Hurricane records. Trump had his copy done in Mar-a-Lago. That is why the President Biden, Attorney General Merrick Garland, that is why they went to that biased magistrate judge and did this unprecedented, unnecessary, unlawful home raid on a former president to get his presidential records, to which President Trump was entitled to have under the Presidential Records Act. The whole point of that home raid and that setup by these same intel officials, these same Justice Department counterintelligence officials who ran Crossfire Hurricane, was to get back these damning documents that President Trump had done in Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, man, when I think about the timeline that we're looking at right now, and we're talking about the most powerful position in the entire country, and knowing that all of this stuff with the Hillary Clinton campaign that developed into Crossfire Hurricane, distracted away from her email situation where the FBI said, we're going to go focus on this and not that. Joe Biden was the vice president while this was happening. It was a scenario that was likely formed so that Hillary Clinton could politically benefit. And I would assume the Obama-Biden legacy could be protected and forwarded down the line. And then I move forward to 2020 after watching Donald Trump have to endure the nonsense and the lies and the slander that come out of Crossfire Hurricane, and everything the Durham report said was completely fabricated. And I'm looking at the president right now, Joe Biden, as a direct beneficiary of the actions that were taking place by the FBI, by the Hillary Clinton campaign, and by the media who wanted to peddle this because they benefited from it as well. Is there any retribution to be had, or do we just all shake our fists at the sky?
No, we don't shake our fist at the sky. The House Republicans need to haul in every one of these bad actors before the House, put them in front of the American people and grill them harshly. Make them explain to the American people what they did, why they did it, what they knew, when they knew it. Bring in Hillary Clinton, bring in James Comey, bring in Andrew McCabe, bring in Peter Strzok, bring in Jake Sullivan, bring in former President Obama, bring in the former Attorney General Loretta Lynch or whoever it was, the CIA director, bring in all of these key players, bring in Andrew Weissman from the Mueller probe, bring in all these people, let them claim executive privilege, let them claim attorney-client privilege, let them plead the fifth, put their butts in a chair and make them feel pain, because what they did to our country here is unacceptable. This is so much bigger than Donald J. Trump. This is so much bigger than one presidential race. This is about our republic. And if you have this politicized and weaponized justice at our highest, injustice at our highest levels, going all the way to the President of the United States in the Oval Office, it doesn't get worse than this. This is third world Marxist hellhole banana republic level stuff, and there have to be consequences.
Mike Davis, that's why we have you on here. What well put and well said. Thank you for being here with us. And as they continue to do that, we'd love to reconnect with you to continue to get your insight on the issue. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike Davis, founder and president of the Article 3 Project. You can go online to article3project.org, article3project.org. You can follow them on Twitter at Article3Project, or you can follow Mike Davis at Mr. DDMIA and tell him thanks for coming on the Annie Frey Show. It's always great to have him here.